Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Straight Betting. Got a beautiful Friday slate, really big card, and a lot of stuff to like. So before we get started, we got a fun guest on here. We got TJ McConnell, if you guys are familiar with him. He's actually an NBA player on the Pacers that I'm playing. We got Stimson. How are we doing, Stim?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me on.
Of course. Let's see. Sorry, I always forget to do something with the stream, and today I forgot to use the mic, so that's what I'm gonna fidget with for a little bit. But Tim, so obviously 76ers fan, but Eagles fan also, which very fortunate for that. I just want a quick take on what are your thoughts about the Sixers' future? Because that's always something that I think about a ton with the 76ers, because I don't know what I would do if I was the Sixers, because obviously I feel like if Joel can actually, he's big question mark with, his injury, long-term injury status. And I know he'd have to get a long surgery, but what direction would you take if you were Daryl Morey to fix the Sixers?
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I just think we're past the point of it being able to work. The process has clearly failed. I mean, I don't see Joel, even if he gets the surgery, his career is just kind of in jeopardy, in my opinion, from back-to-backs. I don't know if he'll ever do it again consistently. The playoffs, just thinking of a 7-game series, I can't see him consistently being there, being able to play hard each night. It's just, I would blow it up personally. I think it's a failure, and we've got some nice pieces to build on. I mean, keep Tyrese, keep McCain, kind of build on our future. But I mean, yeah, it's cooked. It's definitely cooked.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think you could call it? Because this thought has actually crossed my mind before, and it's probably a really idiotic thought, and I bet the Wolves fans would shit on me a ton. But what would you think about what do you think you would get for Joel Embiid? Because I've definitely thought about what if we could give up Randall and a young guy and a first for Embiid or something? But what do you think you could get back for Joel?
His value's definitely taken a hit, but I still think we could get a good amount for him. I think if we were to trade him, though, it wouldn't be a Randall type of thing. We would want picks and kind of secure the future. I mean, it's not going to be a win now thing. There's just so many better teams in this league, and we can't compete. But I mean, I could see 3 to 4 first still, considering what he can be. And we've also seen during the year, when he plays, he is still relatively pretty dominant, but I don't know. It's hard to gauge. I don't know how teams would view his health necessarily, but if we could get 3 to 4 first, I mean, that would obviously be the ideal scenario.
Yeah. What about for PG? Is that going to have to be you attach an asset?
I don't know if anybody's going to want PG in his contract. We might be stuck with him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, man.
It kills me to see. I'm happy for him, honestly, because I liked him in the first place. But Tobias being phenomenal for Detroit. Obviously his numbers aren't extremely flashy, but he's there every night. He's that veteran figure for them, and Paul's just not doing great at all. It's tough.
Yeah, I feel the Tobias hate just stemmed from the max contract, right?
It's not his fault, right? He got a bag. It's not his problem.
Yeah, he's always been a very consistent, get you 14 to 18, 6 or 7 rebounds, decent efficiency and stuff. Yeah, he obviously wasn't a max contract player, and that probably held back some of the Philly teams, in the past. But yeah, he was a solid. He's a very solid 20 to 25 million a year player. And yeah, the Pistons are absurd, guys. I mean, JJ, what do you think about the Pistons, man? Beat the Celtics. Obviously, they were on a back-to-back. I think they were down Jaylen Brown, but I mean, this team is just rolling. What are you thinking about them?
They're definitely going to be a playoff team. I like the way they've been playing defense. Malik Beasley has been amazing this season, especially to bet on. I think, depending on who they play in the playoffs, I think they can at least get to the second round.
Yeah, for sure. They're tough. I think I might be the only person in gambling Twitter to not make money off of Malik Beasley this year, because I just see someone who I think is overperforming, and I'm like, okay, but if I bet on them, they're just gonna regress to the normal.
Dude, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I never touch him, and I see him go off every night, and he's so good off those screens too with Cade. I mean, he's great.
He is. Yeah, and I think he's on a minimum too, or something like that too. So he'll get paid a decent bag.
He'll get a bag.
Yeah. Okay, enough talking about hoops. Let's talk about hoops, but let's talk about player props. And I'll go first with this one. I think it might move in a little bit, so I want to get this one out. I hope it hasn't moved yet. Let me quick get this up. Okay. Oh, and I was sitting on it the whole time. So you guys probably know what's coming. Nick Richards over 8.5 rebounds. So perfect. It hasn't moved yet. Caesars is the best price where I got it at. I mean, MGM, if that works, I guess, obviously play it there. But Caesars, DraftKings, 365, ESPN, Bovada Pinnacle, BetOnline. I'm cool with that. Even if you want to play PRA, I'm cool with that as well. Here's the thing. So I have a Tyus Jones filter in. That's only because I just want his Phoenix games in there. He's played in every game, so I just have Tyus there. It's not like, with Tyus and he's great or anything, but it's not like that. So me and JJ, we faded Nick Richards in a game that they were massive underdogs, and we kind of got lucky due to foul trouble because they actually hung around. But Nick Richards has like crazy home-road splits, or not home-road, win-loss splits, and that's because the Suns have been going a ton small ball when they get down big. However, guys, they're playing the Pelicans. Both teams are on a back-to-back. They just played each other last night. They're playing the Pelicans, and we know Zion's not going to play in a back-to-back. So this Pelicans team stinks. Hopefully, the Suns can be up comfortably for most of this game and control the game script and not have to go small ball. But yeah, this is in wins. I mean, he's averaging. This is PRA. This is why I said I'm also cool with PRA, obviously. But I'm just going with rebounds. Yeah, I mean, he's averaging 13.1 rebounds and wins. He's over in 6 out of 7. He's averaging 25.7 minutes, which I think is important. And then let's go to losses, right? It's not going to be as pretty. Obviously, they just played the Pelicans and lost by a little bit. But Richards had 25 rebound chances, 16 rebounds. But yeah, in losses, like his stuff takes a big hit just because his minutes and stuff down to 21.2. The Pelicans, last 10 games, allow the fourth most rebounds on the year. They allow the fourth most rebounds. So, yeah, no Zion should be a good game script for Nick Richards. And I also just did a little math. I'm projecting him for 25 minutes. Should be able to play drop. He's going up against Yves Missi. There's no reason for him to be a liability on defense or anything. So yeah, if he can get per 25 minutes as a Sun, he's averaging 10.6 rebounds. So yeah, I think there's a lot to like about this Nick Richards prop. As long as the Suns don't get down, 15 in the first quarter versus the Pelicans without Zion, I think that this should be a pretty good look and totally cool with PRA, like double doubles if you're for like good plus money and stuff. So yeah, Stim, I'm gonna kick it to you. What's your thought on Nick Richards here?
I like to read him, and everything you said certainly makes sense. He's a little inconsistent, obviously, but this is definitely a matchup that should keep him on the floor. Like I don't see Missy and kind of what the Pelicans do forcing them to go away from him. So I mean, it looks good to me. I didn't necessarily have it on my radar to start the day, but I like the look.
Yeah, that's just something that I didn't have on my radar at all until I was like in the trenches digging for some props one day, and I just like wanted to. I realized that like Nick Richards just like I felt like I thought the same thing. He's super inconsistent, so I wanted to see if there was like a win-loss correlation, and saw that, and I think that's going to be an angle that I attack on Richards moving forward. Hopefully as long as he hits tonight, right? then I can feel comfortable using that. But JJ, what's your thoughts on Nick here?
Yeah, I like the rebound aspect of it, especially because I think with last 10 they're like about a 10 rebounding defense. I mean, watching some of the game, like a couple of tip-ins, I mean, they've been allowing some offensive rebounds, especially like when someone's driving that the big man always steps up. So it allows like a lot of opportunities either for like just a nice little lob or just a nice little putback. So I think he could do the same here again.
Yeah. Let's hope. And fourth most rebounds over the last 10. So yeah, have not been a great rebounding team. Cool. All right. So that's my first play. Stim, I'm gonna kick it to you. What do you got here for your first straight bet and play ever?
Yeah, I like Aaron Nesmith over 14.5 PRA. I also have a lotto for this game that I'll go over as well. But yeah, I mean, do you have props.cash on here as well too?
I don't, but this is like, pretty similar stuff. You got like filters you wanna use?
For sure, yeah. But so if you kick it to him with 22 plus minutes, he's like fully inserted back into the starting lineup here, and with 22 plus minutes, he's over in I think 9 and 10 games this season. But another reason I really like it is Davion Mitchell is going to be all on Halliburton today. We just saw him kind of take Trey out of the game, back-to-back games. Spo does a good job of kind of scheming out these top guys as well. So I think Nesmith's going to have to be aggressive today, and he's been aggressive recently as it is anyway. Minutes are trending up. What else do I have here? 1 second. Yeah, I mean, they're giving up the 7th most spot-up shots in the league, and that accounts for 35% of his looks, as you can see on Props Madness. So, I mean, it's just it's a pretty good spot for him. He's been fairly aggressive, and I think that he has a floor of 22 minutes barring foul trouble or injury today. So I definitely like the spot here.
Yeah. Hey, you said Richards wasn't on your radar. Nesmith was not on my radar either. But no, this actually makes a ton of sense because, yeah, I mean, I was looking – I didn't see how bad Trey did against those 2 games against the Heat because I was looking at fading Trey against OKC today, and I was like, shit, well, we're definitely getting a, not the best number coming off of those bad games. But, yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. Davion and we know Spo likes to take away the top options. Davion – Halliburton's not going to be able to do shit against Davion. Like, I'm not a big Halliburton guy, to be honest. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do much. And then I think the Heat are a pretty poor catch and shoot defense, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. This is, very high catch and shoot frequency over the last 10 games. So that's what you want when you're, betting on Aaron Nesmith. You want to bet him in a good catch and shoot matchup where Hallie's not going to go off and Siakam's probably not going to go off much either. So no, this makes a ton of sense.
And Davion's playing some big minutes here now too. Like when you look at Miami, like they've had like the Gabe Vincents, the Struces, like they always just have these guards that thrive in their system with Spo. And I think he's like kind of coming into that new role for them. Like he's just Spo's guy right now. They're kind of riding the hot hand with him. So I'm actually considering his minutes. I'm taking 15 points from Nesmith and 10 points from Davion Mitchell at plus 1,000 on Bet365. I mean, his minutes are a little inconsistent. Not minutes, his points are a little inconsistent, Davion. But I mean, if he's playing 30, 35 minutes a game, I mean, he can easily score 10 points. It's not out of the realms of possibility. So those two at 15 and 10 is what I'm taking for plus 1,000. I
like that a ton too, because also like Indiana switched their scheme up a ton, like throughout the year. And like I remember, I'm sure you remember betting on Indiana last year. It's like if they have high usage, just take their over. Yeah, they're gonna be blitzing hero probably all game, I'd assume. Oh, for sure, yeah. And then as a result, they've been like a really bad catch and shoot defense as well, allowing like a ton of points to spot up. I know on the year. Let's see, where is Davion? Yeah, and I went back and watched his. Like, you can go on NBA.com after a game and go to like play by play and look at each stat basically for a guy. So I like took a look at all his threes. He's like taking like step backs, like very confident shots. So I mean, they clearly want Mitchell to take his shots when he has it too. Yeah. No, I like this look a ton. JJ, do you have any thoughts on Nesmith and also the Nesmith Davion look? I think this is a really good look.
Yeah, Nesmith is definitely someone I want to target, especially like he's going to be like that role player that's going to get his shots up. I mean, watching the Heat post All-Star break, I mean, Andrew Wiggins, Mitchell, they're going to be targeting that number one option all game. So it definitely opens up a lot of scoring for the role players. And honestly, the only role player I'd want to take right here is Nesmith, just for that 3-point shooting ability. Everybody else is like a lot less consistent. So, I mean, honestly, I might have this as an official play as well, telling you here. Love it.
Yeah, no, that's a good ad, JJ. Like Nembhard, I've bet on Nembhard a few times, dude. This dude is like scared to catch and shoot. So is Siakam. Both those guys are just like not spot up guys like the way Nesmith is. And this is like a good spot up matchup. So you like in the starting lineup, it's like this is the guy who the matchup is good for. And I think that's also like an additional edge that people sometimes sleep on a little bit. It's like, well, what's the matchup for the teammates? It's like, oh, okay, well, none of these guys really catch and shoot, I guess, besides Turner, but that's more of like a pick and pop thing. So
he's been putting the ball on the floor too and getting to the rim. He's definitely pretty aggressive.
yeah,
I think he's kind of trying to establish his spot in their role, like in their lineup, and carve out more minutes for himself.
yeah. He was pushed by Mathurin for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this is a great look. This is not on my radar, but I like this a ton. Sweet. Okay, another spot up guy that I think that this is a great matchup, and there's some injury news that could significantly benefit it as well. But I'm going with Toumani Camara over 11.5 points, and I also took half unit on Camara to hit 2 threes. So obviously, guys, they're going up against Brooklyn. We know what's going to happen with Anthony Simons. He's going to get blitzed like every rep. Nets they allow so much catch and shoot stuff, so much spot up stuff. But the thing that like really stood out to me is where's Toumani? Okay. So yeah, best price is -105 at 365. Let's see what about the threes real quick. Yeah, +150 at FanDuel for the 2 threes. Or looks like that just dropped. Bet 365 has +145. But if we go to like the head-to-head, right? They played each other once, guys. Toumani Camara took 21 shots. Like that's actually insane. You never see that with Toumani Camara. I think his second highest field goal attempts on the year was 15. So that was without Denny and Jeremy Grant. But here's the thing. Denny got hurt last game against the Wizards. And, that was like his first game back in DC. So I'm sure if it wasn't serious, he would have toughed it out and, finished the game. Now it's only 2 days later, right? I really don't think Denny's going to play here. Like, if he can't finish that game against the Wizards, I'm assuming he's actually pretty hurt. And it's like, you're the Blazers. There's no point of playing Denny hurt, right? And it's like, you're not trying to win games. And also, yeah, Jeremy Grant, questionable too. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but I really don't think that Denny does at the bare minimum. So, yeah, but just like 21 shots, 11 three-pointers attempted against the Nets. I mean, we just know that he's going to be left pretty much wide open in the corners against Brooklyn with how aggressive they scheme against like the top options and pick and roll handlers and stuff. So, as soon as as soon as I saw that that Toumani had 21 shots against Brooklyn, I'm like, dude, I've got to play this. Scored 30 points. I think the line's like a little bit, usually it's like maybe like a 10.5 line for Toumani, but he's over in like half of his games over the last 30. He's averaging 11.4. And yeah, he started off the year kind of slow with a lot of unders, but for the most part, I think this prop is like pretty 50-50 even in a neutral matchup, maybe a little bit less than 50-50 in a neutral matchup, but I just think that this is probably like the best matchup in the league for Toumani. Also, Nets are really bad in transition defense too, so yeah, I like this one. Do you guys have a thought, Stim? I'm gonna kick it to you.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. Secondary players that aren't like primary ball handlers against Nets are definitely great to target. I mean, he's going to have the minutes too. Just defensively, he's obviously a problem. He's great. So I like that look a lot. And that definitely makes sense. I didn't know their head-to-head matchup too, that he went off like that the last game.
Yeah, just 21 shots is absurd for Toumani, right? And if you're a defense, you like want Toumani shooting 21 shots. So there's another thing to that. JJ, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think especially if one of them sits out, I think like if you're predicting at least one sits out, I think his threes could be a very good look here, especially at the price that they're offering.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, got up 11 against Brooklyn. Yeah, and even, the threes have a fairly good hit rate, or not a fairly good hit rate, but for the price of not a terrible hit rate and factoring in the matchup and stuff. So, yeah, Toumani, I didn't have betting Toumani Camara overs on my bingo card when I woke up this morning, but shit, when the matchup presents itself and the head-to-head data looks good, I think it's a solid look. All right, Stim, I'm gonna kick it to you. You got another one for us?
Yeah, I've got one more that I have locked in. We've been on Nesmith, Nick Richards, and Toumani, so I'll get a little bit more, I guess, mainstream here. I mean, it's probably going to be a very popular look today, but I locked in at 26.5 Donovan Mitchell points. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory against Boston. He just is an absolute problem. They switch everything. They're not going to – I mean, they actually did blitz him a few times last game. I was watching, I believe, not frequently, but they did send a couple blitzes at the pick and roll. But at the end of the day, they're going to switch on him, and he's over in, I believe it's like 13 or 14 games against them. So, I mean, he's just he kills them. it's these big games that we see him get up for, like the matchups against these lower tier teams. He kind of takes the night off, not necessarily takes the night off, but he lets kind of the whole team make an effort and go at them. But when it's these big games, he definitely takes it personally and steps up. So, I mean, against Boston, I'm going to get 26.5. I'm going to take that.
Yeah, no, that's a good one too. And people are just going to like look blindly at the hit rate and be like, oh, it's too high. It's really not, dude. I mean, the thing is, Kenny Atkinson, a big thing with like the Donovan chilling is like that Kenny Atkinson is just super conservative with minutes, and he likes to save them for like these big games. Like Donovan's only averaging 31 minutes this year. This is like a 36-minute spot, maybe even 38 if like it's super, super competitive. And then if you could do like a little math and be like, okay, well, he's averaging 24 points on the year in 31 minutes. And then it's like, okay, then it's probably like actually around 26.5. And then you're going to get the Celtics matchup where, you know, they just play one-on-one, play drop coverage and stuff, limit spot ups. And you can definitely find an edge there. So, and then, just like the motivation factor. I mean, he's clearly going to be up for this one. So
yeah, he always gets up for these games. Hopefully he sends out his little let him know tweet that he likes to do. But, but yeah, I like the spot for sure.
Are you gonna hedge out of it if he doesn't send his little let him know tweet?
Nah, it's fine. Maybe he won't be on social media today, you know.
He's just trying to lock in. Yeah. No, that's a great look. 35, 35, and 31 points against Boston. I was actually looking. I kind of want to fade like maybe Max Strus in this spot. Just if like because we know that Mitchell and Garland are gonna get their shots up. Like Mobley probably. Maybe Mobley could be an interesting fade too, because I actually bet his over last game, and he shot like shit, right? But he
had a lot of looks though. They were definitely scheming him to get like he has these one-on-one matchups in the paint. And he does a lot of these little hook shots that just weren't falling last game, but he did get a lot of looks.
He did. Most of them are threes though, and if that's the case, I might be fine with it. I know that they put Tatum on him, and Tatum's kind of like a nightmare for like the Mobleys and Cats especially when they catch it at the perimeter. It just Tatum's like strong as hell, and like you're not like getting past him. You know, it's like when Mobley and Cat can use their speed against like a traditional center and just like drive past him. But I thought that Mobley did he got the volume. I guess like 14 shots though, and you probably should just be looking more so at the volume, right? It usually takes 14 shots. He's usually going to make like 8 of them at least. So. Yeah, that's one thing I did notice though is that Tatum I thought did a pretty good job like getting the shot quality kind of down for Evan Mobley.
Yeah, he had a really inefficient night, but they definitely were trying to get him going.
Yeah, pretty big market discrepancy here. 15.5 at Bet365 and 17.5 at FanDuel. So 17.5 is probably the fair line, and that's probably a really good price here. Cool. Donovan Mitchell makes a ton of sense. What do you guys think about like maybe fading Strus? Just I guess I don't know if we've seen it yet, but at full health, push comes to shove. Do you think that Strus is gonna play like maybe 20 minutes and then like it's DeAndre Hunter time?
Yeah, I mean, I think Hunter would definitely take his minutes in these big games. I mean, Strus is gonna get, as you said, like a 20-minute floor probably, but I mean, Hunter's the better player. I would definitely lean that he would start to take these minutes in these big games.
Yeah, and then you take into account like the spot up matchup too, and like all the shots are going to be going to like Mitchell and Garland and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you could maybe talk yourself into that. Let's see. Okay, that's probably like a fair price line. Cool. All right. Do you guys have any games that you guys have strong takes on?
I do. Let me pull up my notes real quick.
And then we'll look at the comments. I'm going to scroll the comments and see if you guys have said any plays for the games that we go over. So if you guys don't spam comments today, but if you guys do have stuff you like really want us to go over, and it's a game we're talking about, drop them down below. But only do like your number one play you want us to talk about, because we're not going to be able to get to every comment. Let's see. I definitely have a few. I think I really like this. I think this is going to be a really interesting spot to like break down the Wolves Jazz.
We spoke about a little read there before the stream that I like too.
Yeah, you want to start there?
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
I actually don't have the exact numbers. I believe it's 3 of the last 4 without Ant, but we were speaking before, and Jaden McDaniels' assists are pretty interesting without Ant. especially against a team like Utah where he's going to see his usage kind of kick up, and they're great for assists. And they have a lot of catch and shoot guys, as well as Terrence Shannon we were speaking about. Gets to the rim. He's pretty quick with it. But without Ant, those numbers definitely skyrocket a little bit. And we see 2.5 at, I think it's plus 100 even money. And then 3.5 is like plus 250. I actually took him 5+ assists a couple games ago, thinking Ant was going to be out. Ant played and he's still cleared. But it's an interesting read without Ant. His usage definitely skyrockets here.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting look too, right? Because Jaden's going to touch the ball most possessions. Like I don't know, Conley has lines listed, but it's a back-to-back. I'd be a little bit surprised if he plays. I'd be super surprised if Dante plays. He played in his first game back, but it's a back-to-back now, and he was out for a long time with like a toe issue, so I'd highly doubt he plays. We know Ant and Randall are going to be out. Rudy Gobert been dealing with back spasms. I guess we don't know for sure if he's going to play out lean, no. I also think that Naz Reid, his PRA, I literally had this in the bet slip. I mean, and then I kind of double taked it because I guess we don't know for sure about Rudy, but this is Naz. If you take Ant, Rudy, and where's Randall? And Randall off the court, it's not a massive sample size at all. It's only 96 minutes, but I mean, he's averaging 27.72, 14.23, 2.62 per 36. And like he'll play 36 minutes. I mean, this is going to be a close game. The Wolves are not going to blow out the Jazz, without Ant and Randall and Rudy and all them. So 31.5 is like absurdly low. I mean, he has one bad game against the Lakers, and now we're just like pricing him here. Like I don't really get that. This is without Randall and Rudy. I mean, he was over. Like, these are all 4 of like the best, like top 3 defensive rating teams in the league. Obviously, OKC is like a pretty good matchup because of how they blitz Ant, I guess. But they're still an amazing defense. And now it's like you can't get 32 PRA against the Jazz. I mean, I don't know like what this number is. This is like 43 PRA per 36. Like it is a small sample, but I mean, he's not even really shooting crazy good. It's like 44% from the field. So I think that Nas PRA. Like if you could guarantee me that Randall, Gobert are out, or Gobert's out, like this 100% should be a play, in my opinion. And I'm just waiting for that. But do you guys have a take on that Nas stuff?
I like it as well. I mean, I've been taking Nas PR with Rudy out, and I mean, he's kind of holding down the 5, and also just without Ant, his volume is gonna obviously see an uptick here. So I definitely like it.
Yeah, JJ, what about you?
He's just been a dog. I mein, without Ant, you should be getting a lot of shots up.
Yeah, and we're talking about Utah here, right? So it's like,
yeah.
It's not like it's the toughest matchup in the world. I will say Walker Kessler really is a good rim protector. I think people, before you guys jumped the gun on Jaden points, I will say Jaden has been so reliant at scoring in the paint. He doesn't even really shoot anymore. So I think the assists are like by far the way to go with Jaden over points. And 18.5 for Jaden. Like, are we really at that point? He's been hooping, but 18.5 seems a tad hefty.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. Actually, it is 3 of the last 4 games without Ant. He has 4+ assists, and Lions 2.5. Decent value on the 4+ as well.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. And yeah, Jaden's something I'm definitely going to look into a little bit more. I mean, just a perfect matchup for that. Like, if you're going to touch the ball basically every possession against Utah, man, like, and you can't get 4 assists, dude, I mean, come on. Okay, so that's kind of the take on that game. Let's see. I have another spot I want to get to. What do you guys think about MPJ here? Because I see that the books are listing Aaron Gordon stuff. I'd be pretty shocked if Aaron Gordon plays on a back-to-back. I didn't watch that game, but if any of you two watched that game, was he guarding Giannis?
I can check the stats real quick.
It would make complete sense if he was guarding Giannis. Like, you're not going to put Porter
on.
I
would assume.
So he played 33 minutes guarding Giannis, and this dude, they've been insanely cautious with him. They list him for injury management basically every game on the injury report. It's a back-to-back now.
44.5 possessions.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So would you guys say that Aaron Gordon probably doesn't play here, or am I jumping the gun?
I think that's definitely fair to say.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Porter with Jokic, Murray, Braun, Westbrook, and without Gordon. for his PRA, for his points. I mean, look at his points. And they're playing the Pistons, who have been like a really bad catch and shoot defense. So it's like this is, let's see, frequency. They are like 8th highest catch and shoot frequency. So good matchup for him. They're giving up the catch and shoot stuff. That's what you want to look for MPJ. And should be a close game too, right? 1.5 point spread. Pistons are a good team. Nuggets are on a back-to-back. They're probably the better team, but bad spot. So game should stay close, I would think. And yeah, I just want you guys to take on MPJ stuff. I mean, JJ, I'm gonna kick it to you.
I mean, no Aaron Gordon always means MPJ. He turns into a whole different player when he's out.
Yeah. And this is against the Pistons. I mean, shot super efficiently, no doubt about it, but 26 points. Stim, do you have any thoughts on MPJ stuff?
No, I mean, I definitely like it. It's a great read. And also they give it up from above the break threes too. And I know him and Murray might have a nice game from deep too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's my thoughts too. Cool. Yeah, I wanted to get to that. I guess, do any of you guys have any Nuggets Pistons takes? I think that, look, the Nuggets are a pretty easy team to predict for the most part what they're going to do defensively. It's like, okay, do they have a good pick and roll player, good on-ball player? Okay, Jokic is going to be blitzing then. So Cade's probably going to get blitzed here. Let's see, head-to-head against the Nuggets. What happened here? Yeah, he only had 17 points, only 27 minutes, 8 assists in 27 minutes. If this was 9.5 everywhere, I would definitely like Cade's assists. But yeah, Nuggets will probably be giving up some spot up looks. And I actually looked at Tim Hardaway points. It's kind of gross, but like I know JJ's been fading him at 9.5 in like brutal matchups. And then you can get him at 9.5 in a good matchup. And I kind of actually like Tim here. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else for this game or any thoughts on Tim?
I mean, Tim can catch fire randomly and go off for like 6 threes, or he'll just end up with 6 points in general. So he's tough. You know, you never know. Even the matchup, I feel like, doesn't even matter for him. It's just like, is it that day where he's going to go off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll usually find out in the first quarter or not.
Exactly. If first shot goes down, it's like, all right, he's confident.
Yeah. So maybe
his
like,
minutes slightly go down when Dennis Schroeder plays, but I'm not sure if he's playing today or not.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I wish that Cade line was 9.5. I was looking this morning. I saw 10.5 everywhere. I mean, I'm not going to touch it there, but obviously a great matchup for his assists.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, I wish it was that 9.5 line. Maybe even like maybe books have like double priced. You know how sometimes books will like price double like a little bit better. I mean, he's going to score 10 points, so
yeah,
it's like that. Maybe that could be a good look. I'm trying to see if anyone had any comments on this game.
I feel like Assar gets a ton of points cutting to the rim, and I see Denver all the time. These players get into the paint against them. I actually haven't really looked at his spot totally, but once we were talking about it, I saw his name down there. I was thinking against Denver, he's probably a pretty good spot just based off the way they give it up.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. No, that makes a ton of sense. So he had 10 points. He shot 5 for 8, only 24 minutes. He had a ton of rebound and assist, 19 rebound and assist chances. Probably did a pretty poor job at converting compared to normal for that.
And now
I like
now there's
KD.
no Jaden Ivey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was Jaden Ivey playing in there? Oh yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably coming off the bench there.
Yeah.
What's the shot chart look like for him?
Oh, all in the paint, dude.
Yeah, I mean that's
Nuggets to give it up.
That's what you want to see against Denver too.
Yeah, especially Jokic ain't playing no defense on a back-to-back. No, that's Assar makes a ton of sense too, and I think that like if Cade gets blitzed, which he definitely will with Jokic, Assar's a good secondary playmaker too. So I could even see assists and then rebounds you could sell yourself on. You're like, okay, the line's at 4.5 first of all for Assar.
Yeah, what's his PRA at? Actually, I'm gonna take a look.
18.5.
18.5. That's a little.
I'd rather have it at like 16.5 or 17.5.
Let's see.
Because I think that's usually what it's at, but I think
18.5. 18.5 high for him. They must be liking the matchup. Vegas knows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, 22 plus minutes though. I guess that's not a guarantee. He did have a 17-minute game. Maybe that was foul trouble, but 17 plus minutes, his hit rate or 22 plus minutes looks pretty good. But that also might be like, forcing it in with like 22 to 27. That's still pretty good.
If he was getting 30, 35 minutes a night, he'd be a cash cow. He'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Assar makes a ton of sense. Let's see. Did anyone have any? Duren could get into foul trouble. Yeah, that's what I was thinking for. Yeah, Duren over assist for sure. Yeah, this is a great assist spot for Duren.
I completely forgot about the handoffs. Yeah.
Also, Jokic threes against. I just like targeting big threes against Duren. Like Vooch, for example, when he plays them, like I'm automatically on Vooch threes. I don't know what Jokic's line is. Probably 1.5, but
yeah, 1.5 minus 104 at FanDuel. That's a great price for him. I think.
Yeah, like a guy like Jokic in this matchup, like I like using his 3+ for something. Like
he hit 4 last game.
He hit 4 last game.
Yeah,
I feel like I got to take that.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, 5 attempts to make 2 is like good.
Yeah.
Oh, for Jokic for sure. I mean, that dude's like a 45% clip or some shit.
He's got some ladder value here too. I mean, plus 310 for 3. It's not bad at all.
Let's see, we have a Kate RA question. Kate RA. I mean, it's such a good matchup. What's the number? 14.5. Wow, that's only at FanDuel. It's pretty juiced too, but that's a super good number. I like that. And even the 15.5 might not be bad. Jamal, I'd probably stay off Jamal. I've noticed that the Pistons, Duren's been like blitzing for whatever reason recently.
During Cade's triple-double run he had earlier in the year, after
that Trailblazers game, that's when they changed everything on that defense.
His 6+ rebounds was a wagon though for a while, Cade.
Yeah. And it could, I think it's a bad rebounding spot for Duren. Just like guarding, first of all, he could easily get into foul trouble. I mean, he will get in. If Jokic is trying at any point in this game, he'll get into foul trouble. So if you get Duren out of there, that could be good for rebounds. It's also Duren's guarding Jokic, right? It's kind of tough to guard Jokic and grab rebounds at the same time. So
I feel like Jokic will probably get up for this game now. Like Detroit's not the team they once were. Like they are very, very good.
Yeah, I agree. And like Jokic will have to, I mean, the thing is, honestly, if Jokic is trolling here, Nuggets are going to get smoked, I bet. Or maybe not smoked, but they're not going to win the game if Jokic isn't
I agree.
actually trying.
That threes is interesting. Actually, I really like that.
Hey, me too.
Nikola Jokic is on Nikola Jokic's threes, so that's sweet. It said, how many plays should you have on a 10-game slate? Yeah, that's interesting. So, I mean, me personally, I always like max out at like 8, and that's just like because I like to. I feel like I'm almost forcing it if I have more than that. But if you're tailing, I don't even know. I've never. Have you guys ever like tailed people? Really? No.
I take my guy Bubs and Flo in the. We're in the House of Stims Discord, and I tail my boys too for sure, but typically nowhere else.
Yeah,
just like a full day of just only tailing, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I'd say I know. Well, the thing is, like, if you're tailing, like, if you're in a Discord, right? Like, I don't know how many plays you guys have in House of Stims. What do you think you guys have per day, like on a slate like this, like total?
It really differs. I mean, it depends. It depends on the slate, obviously. I mean, typically like a big slate, I'll have around 2 to 3 straights, and then 3 to 5 small, like 0.1 to 0.25 U. Like I call them stimmies, which is like a lotto. Obviously, I like to use all the boosts that are given to us, like FanDuel, DraftKings, no sweats as well. So those kind of eat up into the volume, but I try to not make it too crazy with volume.
Yeah, for sure. But if you're tailing people, I mean, just don't tail addition. I mean, tail all the if you've been tailing someone all year or tailing like 3 people all year. I mean, and if they have like 20 combined plays, I would probably still tail them, right? As long as it's not like a bankroll management concern, then I feel like probably should just keep on doing that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm very conservative with my unit structure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the most I'll ever put on a lotto is 0.25 U, but it's typically between 0.1 and 0.15, and we kind of let the straights carry, and those are obviously just the side money there.
Yeah, for sure. Stim, I got a quick question. Is this stimmy? Did you get that word from like the COVID stimulus packages?
That is exactly where it came from. Yeah, came from there. So I mean, I was hitting these like plus 1,000 in such plays, and thought in my mind, I was like, you know what, these stimmies, it's like a stimulus check.
Yeah,
so that was kind of how I initially started my brand. Shout out to Devin's bookie. He gave me the opportunity, and here we are today.
Dude, that's fucking sweet, bro. That's like a very unique way to call lotto, and it's basing it back to like the COVID stimmy checks. That's actually fire, bro. I really like that.
That was it from the beginning. Yeah, now it's stuck. Stim Sim. That's kind of where it came from.
Yeah, no, that's fucking sweet. He said I'm at like 20 or 30 tails a day. I mean, yeah, dude, it's just like you just got to make sure you're not overdoing it, you know. But if you're tailing good bettors and stuff, like, you know, if you're tailing 20 to 30 a day, hopefully you're winning at like a 55 to 60% rate most days. Obviously, it's going to be variance and stuff, but I mean, the more volume, the less volatility typically. So, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily like a problem. But yeah, if you see like a better like forcing out like 10 plays on days like this, you probably shouldn't be tailing them in the first place.
It's a shame we couldn't get Flo here today because he's great with his Knicks props. I'm usually just automatic tailing his Knicks. I mean, he's spot on with them. He knows that team extremely well.
Yeah, no, and I think that's like a massive edge too. I've like thought about this before. I feel like the best Discord ever would be if you have one person for each team who follows that team insanely close. You'd have like such like insane edges on like a night to night basis, just on like the most like random shit.
As long as it's not Sixers plays.
Yeah. Have you not been hitting on the Sixers plays?
No, I actually have. Like Paul George, for example. Like he gets a lot of hate, which is very warranted, but right now, like his points have been nice to take without Joel. It's they're making a concerted effort to get him involved. It's very obvious.
I've been on the Oubre wagon lately.
Oubre is very underrated.
Yeah, I mean, last game he went off. I'm so happy with that.
Grimes' rebounds was a wagon for a little bit too. Right when LeVert went to got traded as well, I took them too, both for 6 rebounds. They were boarding a ton, and that was a nice one to have too.
Yeah, and Oubre is a fun player to bet on because like when you bet on him, it's like you always feel alive because you know he's gonna play like 38 minutes,
and he's gonna shoot every time he touches the ball.
Yep. Okay, guys, I want to quick move on to another game. Let's go to Thunder and Hawks. I like going to these games against OKC because we know what's going to happen, right? Every single Trey is going to, get an absurd amount of attention, especially with like the bummy supporting cast that he has around him. So, first of all, I think the line is fairly set at 24.5. I do lean under still on Trey's points just because it's gonna be tough sledding for him, like very tough sledding. He's gonna get blitz basically every rep. He's a really good passer and a willing passer out of the blitz too. I guess we could go to a filter and see like top 10 against a pick and roll handler. Oh yeah, not great. And a couple of the overs were against Denver, Lakers, Hornets, Nets at the start of the year, which I don't know if they were doing the same thing. So yeah, Trey under, I have a very strong lean to. I will say his volume's been absurd, and I'm pissed that they played the Heat back-to-back games because if he played like some bummy ass teams where he scored like 30 points again, this line would probably be at like 28.5, 27.5 open, and could have got some good value there. But yeah, what do you guys think about like the role pieces? Who a guy like Dyson is going to be left wide open by OKC. A guy like Risa Shea is going to be left pretty open, just based on how they scheme.
I actually do have a lean here. I haven't locked it in yet. I think I'm still trying to figure out the best way to play it, whether I want to take his PRA or just use his threes for a threes lotto. But Terrence Mann is actually pretty intriguing here. OKC gives it up on this right side of the corner 3. I think it might be second in the league that they give up the most. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, and so I went back and watched last game as well. Both his threes he hit came in that spot. He's going to be camped up in that corner, and his minutes have been seeing a little bit of an uptick. Just the way that they're going to be attacking Trey and such. He's plus 250, I think it was, for 2 threes. He's got a little bit of value there. I still haven't figured out if I'm going to take it. If I am, I'll probably pair him with somebody else. But he's pretty interesting today. He might have some nice value.
Yeah.
I was thinking something similar.
I mean, there's so many guys who kind of fall into that bucket, right? Like these like defensive first non-shooters, like whether it's T-Man and T-Man's going to be left wide open, dude. Like
he's going to be in that corner. I actually hit one of my biggest plays ever with Terrence Mann for his threes. So I mean, I love that guy. He'll camp in that corner and he'll definitely let it rip.
Yeah. So yeah, Terrence Mann's interesting. I think like Dyson's another guy who will be left open. Yeah, I think it just like if Trey's on a court with non-shooters against OKC, they're going to be the ones shooting the ball, and OKC is going to be just so aggressive against Trey. So you can definitely. I think this would be like a perfect SGP spot. Stim, you could do like. I wonder what a Dyson 2 threes, Terrence Mann 2 threes, and Trey like under 19.5 would be. I feel like
it's an interesting one. As I said, I haven't locked it in yet, but I think we'll have some nice looks today.
Yeah. So those are some definitely good people who you should be looking into. Yeah. What about? Is there anything else in this game? I mean, the Hawks stink. What do you guys think about? Like, do you guys have any Thunder thoughts? I really don't. Off the rip.
Aaron Wiggins has kind of been balling, but I'm not touching him right now in this matchup probably. But he's been hooping. He's definitely somebody to look at in these games where I don't know if they'll blow out Atlanta is the thing. They may, but the games where they're winning by a wide margin, Wiggins, he gets up for them and he gets a ton of opportunities.
Yeah, no, that's facts. That makes sense. And the Hawks defense stinks. Yeah, I really don't have anything from OKC either. JJ, do you?
Not really. I mean, OKC could be interesting with somebody with Caruso out, like one of those like guard role players, like maybe like Isaiah Joe or Cason Wallace. But outside of that,
Yeah, let's see. I like Trey under Chet points, Dyson rebounds, and Onyeka rebounds. I'm scared about the blowout. Yeah, Trey under. You said you got it at 26.5. I mean, that was a terrible line. Like genuinely a terrible line. So yeah, fuck. Stim, do you bet overnight lines or do you bet mostly in like the mornings and stuff?
Here and there, I'll take an overnight play. Like for example, Donovan Mitchell, I took him at 10:30 last night just because I knew it would get a ton of steam in the morning and wanted to jump on that beforehand. But typically not. No.
Yeah, I might start doing that next year. To be honest, dude, it's just like I feel like you're gonna get so much value. I mean, I don't mean to sound like cocky, but if you're like a decent bettor and you're betting overnight lines, I feel like it's impossible basically to finish with without like a crazy amount of units on the year.
It's just tough because it's a little non-accessible for some people. Like just the way like people obviously go to bed. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's tough with people telling you to like consistently track that, and they're not really able to get the lines that you post.
Yeah,
that's why like at 10:30, for example, Eastern time yesterday with Mitchell, like that's fine. Most people are gonna be awake for that.
Yeah, everyone's up watching, sweating out something in the Lakers-Wolves game and stuff. Yeah, no, for sure. Trey under. Let's see. Okay, let's go on to another game. Is there Pelicans Phoenix? I guess I have some thoughts on this. So, do you guys have any thoughts on like Pelican stuff without Zion?
Alvarado may have a nice game. I'm not sure what his line is, but.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know if he's going to start. I bet on him last game over 10.5 points. He cashed, but he only played 20 minutes, which, not what I signed up for when I, bet that. Suns are have been such a bad these two teams are so bad at catch and shoot defense. If you go to that stuff, like they're just absolutely leaking catch and shoot stuff. Like the Pelicans have officially suppressed the Jazz in how bad they are at catch and shoot defense, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's probably a stay away from me. I mean, back to back. I don't know if Beal's going to play or not either. It's kind of waiting on some injury news, but
yeah,
stay away from me.
Book had 20 potential assists against them last game. What about the Durantula?
Tyus had like 12 assists, I think, last game too.
Yeah. JJ was on his rebounds and assists. That was actually one of the better bets I've seen recently. Okay.
He had 22 potential assists last game. Jesus.
Knicks Memphis. Do you guys have thoughts on that?
We need flow.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I usually
feel like every time one of us is on, like he's not on when he schedules.
Flo got the flu. So I faded Edie against the Knicks, and he actually got benched to start the second half, but went over due to a blowout, and like he was getting blowout run. But Edie can't be on the floor when Cat's on the floor. Like he just can't. Cat can space the floor too well. I guess maybe Edie would guard like Josh Hart, but I don't know. That doesn't sound like good.
He's another guy who's just so inconsistent in his minutes. Like you never know when Edie's going to get the run for the game.
Yeah, he's a bad team merchant. I like to bet him like, okay, the Grizzlies are big favorites. Like he's not going to be a liability, or like even if he is a liability, like it's not going to matter because they're going to win by margin anyways. Those are like the spots that I like to bet Zach Edey in, and then fade him in like high leverage games because they'll just go to like Clark and Santi and stuff. So yeah, do you guys have?
Is Mitchell Robinson playing today?
Is he?
They say he's questionable.
He's questionable.
Like this, like the first day where he actually has a chance to play. I'll say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Hawk Purty's out for a few weeks too, and I don't know if Cat's going to play. So he might need to.
This might be a game to look at it like 30 minutes before tip.
Yeah,
and it looks like Desmond Bane has a groin injury.
Okay. So he's questionable.
Yeah.
So probably too many moving parts to probably get something out for that game. Is that that's today. Is LeBron?
Lakers, yeah.
Okay.
LeBron and Luka are both questionable.
Okay, so I'll probably also just wait for that one.
A Chicago game. If Io's out, I like Giddey.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting on the news there. I mean, dude, he's an absolute wagon without Io playing. I mean, he's been great. But his rebounds and assists definitely see like a huge alter if Io plays or not. So
and I know Patrick Williams too has been like very helpful for him.
It's been huge. And also his scoring is just like seeing an uptick with Levine gone in general. I think it's 25.5 is PR. I was looking at earlier. I want to wait for the news, see what the deal is with Io, but I mean, he probably smokes 25.5.
Yeah. Holy crap. I mean, let's see.
He's been great.
Yeah.
I've been taking him a lot recently.
Yeah. Let's see. The 3 games he had 41, 47, and 42 PRA. So yeah, Giddey when he gets the usage in the minutes, like he's gonna put up a shit ton of numbers. Yeah.
I'm just waiting on that Io news, but if Io's out, I'll probably jump there real quick and take his PR.
Has anyone peeped with Vooch in was like so easy to, just whoever's engaging in pick and roll stuff is like gonna eat. With Collins, I know Collins sucks at defense too, but have you guys noticed any change there? Or has stuff?
Not necessarily. They're just bad defensively. I mean, they've just gotten worse, I'd assume, with Collins.
Yeah, for sure. Giddey assist for sure. Just wait for the Io news. Ja unders, I think you got to wait for the Bane news. And even if Mitchell Robinson plays even if he plays 16 minutes, which it probably would be, I think that matters a little bit for rim protection, right? Because you're going from Cat to Mitchell Robinson. I mean, that's a pretty damn big difference in rim protection. So that could make sense. Let's see. Yeah, Dyson under. You think under Dyson points? I would not do that, bro. OKC's gonna leave him wide open. Josh Hart PRA. Yeah, I think just Nick stuff is a wait and see until Cat and all that stuff.
By the way, Bubs, he's got the stream on. He just texted me. He's a Bulls fan. He said they are 100% worse on defense with Zach Collins.
Zach Collins, okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's great. I mean, going from Vooch to Zach Collins and you're downgrading, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, if you're trying to lose, you're probably doing it right then. So I mean, if that's the case, Quickly's lines seem like pretty inflated, but he makes sense if for assists maybe. Is Scotty questionable or? Let's see, Raptors. Yeah, Scotty is questionable. So, did you guys know that PJ Tucker was on the Raptors?
I did not. Sixers legend.
Holy crap. Oh, Giddey. So Giddey points might be a little bit dicey. I mean, he's 17 for 22 from deep over the last 5 games. So
I
maybe
actually just hit a play with his threes 2 days ago. I think it was maybe 3 days ago.
That's absurd. Giddey is not that good of a 3-point shooter. Let's see. Was there any other plays? I know you guys are kind of letting the plays rip early. Oh, Simon's under 3.5 threes. Oh, 100%, J-Man. That's a great bet.
I wonder what Shaden Sharp lines are going to be too.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
interesting.
there's anything for him yet.
Nope.
Yeah, they're probably waiting for the Denny stuff and all that. Day'Ron Sharp's kind of a dog. I know Claxton was gone. I can't believe I didn't play. I know you guys peeped that Day'Ron Sharp's PRA was like 19.5 without Claxton.
I'm sick about it. I'm sick I didn't play him. I was looking at it. His double-double was like plus 300 as well. He went off.
No, that was crazy. He's a good player, man. I think that moving forward, if I'm the Nets, dude, they should be. Day'Ron's better than Claxton, I think.
He is absolutely better than Claxton. Completely agree.
Okay, it was.
His lines actually might be intriguing tonight because Claxton's back off the suspension. They might have him very low due to that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting even minutes with Claxton almost. Like Claxton was getting 30+ minutes and he was taking that secondary like role spot. I don't know if they're going to go fully back to Claxton after that game.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally. And yeah, and it's also I think it's a tough matchup for Claxton too because Klingon, say what you want. Like Claxton like needs to score at the rim, you know.
Yeah.
So you got Klingon up there clogging it up, making rebounds.
Cam Thomas is back. Oh shit,
it's tough for sure. Oh, Cam Thomas is back. Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I forgot about that. So that's another reason for Claxton under, right? I mean,
I need to see those lines because he'll shoot any.
Let's see. Tim, if you had to project Claxton's minutes, what would you project him at?
I mean, the way the Nets go about it, probably like 27, 28.
Yeah, I kind of want to bet like do a little lower though, just because of the Sharp. Like you got to reward Sharp a little bit for that.
I would think so too. I mean, I would hope so at least. I think Sharp's just a better player, but
yeah,
they do like Claxton a lot.
So here's 22 to 30 minutes for Claxton. He's under a ton, and Cam Thomas is back, which I don't. Cam Thomas is a terrible passer, and he's just gonna chuck. Klingon matchup down low, I think, is somewhat tough, especially for rebounding too, because he's gonna contest like everything on the offensive glass, and he's really good at it. I actually really do like Claxton unders. Repay the man. Repay Sharp for what he did.
He was getting some big minutes before he just missed this game is the thing. I don't know if they're going to fully jump to Sharp like I'd like them and like I think they should, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah, we're not the coaches.
Exactly.
Unfortunately. If we were the coaches, we could win at like a 95% hit rate.
Yeah, I feel like Jordi Fernandez kind of just plays everybody a little bit too. Like he doesn't really have any set guys except for Claxton.
Yeah.
Big minutes.
Yeah, let's see. So like with like 26+ minutes, but even with that, like Claxton's still under and over 50%, right? And that's like you're like highballing it. So yeah, this is something I might actually play, Claxton unders. Because you do have that additional maybe out of Day'Ron like getting rewarded and the tough matchup, so and the Cam Thomas stuff.
I like that look actually a lot.
Yeah. Something interesting. See, was there any last second comments? You're running Durant threes. Yeah, I like that a ton. Durant's like they've been treating him like a spot up guy, but if there's any time to, hit threes as a catch and shoot guy, it's against Pelicans, right? So 2.5 though. It's getting a little juicy, but I like it. Got up 13 threes against him. I think it makes sense.
He shot 13 threes last game?
Yeah, KD got 13 up.
Wow.
All right, guys. So we are at the hour mark. One thing I want to say, I'll recap the show, but before I do that, I want to just quick if you guys are on YouTube, if you're new here, drop a sub, please. Drop a like on the YouTube video. Just goes a long way to support us. It's a free way to, support us, and it helps us out a ton. It's how we're able to do this in the long term by you guys supporting, liking, subscribing, all that. So if you do enjoy this content, please like and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And let's shout out Stim for a little bit. Stim, is there anything you want to shout out? Maybe House of Stims or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We have me, Flo, and Bubs who do the NBA for us. Obviously, it's an NBA stream, so I'll harp on them. But I mean, Bubs is an absolute animal. His numbers speak for himself. One of the things I like about us is transparency. Like we recap daily, all the above, and we're not throwing out a ton of volume a day. So to say, I probably have the most volume of our three guys, but Bubs with his ladders, he's an absolute dog. He kills it. Flo obviously destroys Knicks props, and I'm a little bit of a mix of everything. So, I mean, I love what we bring to the table, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure if you guys are like looking for plays too, yeah, I fully recommend it to you guys. House of Stims. Obviously, we've had Flo on too. We know that he's great. Stim's great. I don't know Bubs, but I feel like I've seen you recap like his year-to-date stuff, and it was absolutely insane. So
he's nuts. I think he's sitting at around 90 units on the NBA season, and it's recap daily. I mean, he's phenomenal. We got to get him on here. I don't know if you're listening, Bubs. We'll get you on here next time we're on for sure.
Yeah, Bubs. Teach us how to ladder. Teach the people how to ladder shit up correctly.
Yeah, no, he's great though. I mean, the rate that he hits max ladders is pretty wild. But I love tailing him and glad to have him on board.
Yeah, for sure. So Stim, thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time. Appreciate you dropping some good stuff. I think that Nesmith play. I'm a big fan of like role player props. That's what I became like a big fan of this year, and I think that's a big fan of that play. So JJ, do you have anything you want to say before we head up?
Let's just keep continuing the run we've had since we opened up the Discord.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna quick shout that out too. Sorry, when you're running hot, you gotta front run a little bit. But we have a free Discord going on right now. It's straight betting. It's JJ, myself, Liam gives a couple freebies, and so does Quentin. We're 55-23 on straight bets over the last 7 days. So we went 7-1 yesterday. I don't know like what's going on with us, but we're doing good. So I mean. Yeah, it's a free Discord, and I mean, if you guys tune into the stream, I'm sure most of you guys are in it already. But yeah, it's linked in the description. It's linked, on the Straight Betting Twitter account. So free Discord. We're front running a little bit, but we are 55-23 the last 7. So I think it's definitely worth a join. So yeah. All right, Stim, once again, just want to thank you for your time and dropping some gems to the people. We do really appreciate it, and we'd love to have you on again. So.
Absolutely. I mean, thanks for having me. It was an absolute pleasure. Love the work you guys do. Love seeing the way you break down a slate as well. Definitely a big fan. But I'll be back, and Bob just texted me. He said he's in next time too, so we'll be back together.
Perfect. And yeah, I wonder if we can get a 5. I don't think we can do 5 people. Maybe we can. I'm not completely sure. But
yeah, if you can, let me know. We'll get the full House of Stims NBA team on. Me, Bubs, and Flo. And but yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be back. Once again, thanks for having me, guys.
Perfect. Yep.
Oh, no problem.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow as well at same time, 9:45 Eastern. So, yep, you guys have a good day. Best luck on your bets today.